What's going on, guys? Chase on Two Wheels here at Mountain Motorsports in Roswell, Georgia. In front of me, I have the brand new, the adorable, the 2023 Honda Grom. I have loved this thing every time I've seen it, but Mountain has never held one long enough for me to do a first ride, and today I get to do it on this awesome blue. I cannot wait to check this thing out. You guys know I love my mini bikes, so let's get this thing started. You guys stick around to see if this is a purchase or pass, and it's a first ride. We got to start off with seeing what it looks like and seeing what it sounds like. Alrighty, my friends, that's what it looks like and that's what it sounds like. Now, this video is not sponsored, but it is supported by my website, wbrgarage.com. Long story short, we build motorcycles and we give them away. So, if you guys want to be entered into the motorcycle we're currently giving away, which is a 2018 Yamaha R6, it is going to be absolutely sick. You can get entries for as little as $5 over on wbrgarage.com. Go check it out. You can either get a membership, get merch, get hats, or whatever the hell you want. And anything you do, the website will automatically give you entries for those things for when we give the bike away. The earlier you get in, the more entries you can get. So thank you so much for anybody that is already supporting us over there. It allows us to do these videos for you guys. That's it, guys. We have, before I set up my phone again, phone going on the quad lock. By the way, if you guys are looking for a phone holder for your motorcycle, nothing better than a quad lock. Absolutely love it. Also, guys, let me know. I've got these Saint jeans on today. I'm trying those out. They're kind of stretchy. They're super comfortable. And I think they'll be perfect for the Grom. Let's get these things turned on. I love this whole setup right here. This is fantastic. All right, so guys, I'm 5'10", got a 32-inch inseam, and we have a 30-inch seat height thereabouts. I've got super bent legs. If you're a shorter rider, you're going to absolutely love the Grom. And I know most of you guys watching this video, you're either going to be an experienced rider that wants a mini bike, or you're going to be somebody that hasn't ridden a lot. So I'm going to try to talk to both of you guys in this video. Obviously, y'all are on two different sides of the spectrum, but I'll do my best. All right, we despite what you can hear, we do have it turned on. So it's a first ride. Let's get this thing started with my bent legs on this adorable motorcycle. Also, guys, if y'all like Discord, we have a motorcycle Discord full of people that just enjoy motorcycles just like you. If you guys want to check it out, we have a link for you in the description. It's totally free. Go check it out and hang out with our Discord people. All right. It is to be noted, my friends, that this is going to be a slightly modified first ride route. This is a mini bike. I cannot go onto the highway, so we have a very different, or a slightly different route today. I'm still going to try to hit on all the regular points that I hit on. Just want to let you guys know that. Alrighty, guys, now that I got the disclaimer out of the way, so if you guys are not familiar, the Grom is one of the few mini bikes on the market in the motorcycle industry. We've got the Grom, we've got the Z125, and we also have CF Moto's Papio that I actually have a Papio. I love the little mini bikes. They are some of of my favorite to ride around. And then, of course, Honda has their own set of mini bikes, but Honda really developed this industry with the Grom. And it's been crazy to see how the Grom sphere has kind of grown into it. But it's the first ride. Let's start off with talking about body position. You guys can probably see from the camera car, this is a slightly smaller motorcycle, but one of the interesting things you're going to notice when you sit on it is the seat is regular sized. It fits my butt very well. It's comfortable. As far as my legs go, my legs are tucked back a little bit, and they come straight ahead of me, and they really fit in really well with these little grooves here on the side of the gas tank. And then the top part of my body is very upright. I got my arms draped down really low. It's a very odd position, and for the first time, I think if you were a taller rider, you could still ride this. I'm 5'10", like I said earlier, but I don't think you would have to skip out on the Grom even if you're taller. The older Grom, I feel like when I rode it, my elbows and the handlebars would hit my knees. But that situation is not happening now. Look at that. The handlebar can go all the way to the side. I know that's an odd thing to discuss on a motorcycle with the handlebars hitting your knees and shit, but it was a problem. On the last Grom, I noticed that I couldn't kind of maneuver the bike as much as I wanted to with the stock handlebar setup. So I guess they've changed it. I know the Grom had a pretty major change. I think it was in 2022. And this is the first one I've ridden since then. But yeah, guys, overall, really fun body position here. Very similar to most of the little mini bikes. You're going to have this kind of body position feel, which I kind of like. It's part of the charm of these little bikes. But you'd have to find one to sit on it for yourself to find out if it is right for you. So, guys, let's talk about the electronics and things about the Grom. I personally feel like is this a very simple bike. There's not a lot of electronics on here. You don't have any rider aids. Obviously, you have a very small engine here. You don't really need rider aids. But one of the cool things that Honda does offer is a ABS and a non-ABS model. The model we have here today is the $3,500 non-ABS model, which is kind of fun. You can skid the wheel and stuff like that. If you do want ABS, you can, I think it's $3,700. Personally, I don't really know if the Grom needs ABS because it's such a small motorcycle, but I love that it's an option, obviously, especially if you're a brand new rider. And if you guys are not familiar, ABS stands for anti-lock brakes. Moving on from that, let's talk about city performance. And if we're going to be honest, city performance is where the Grom is going to shine, whether you're brand new to riding or you're an experienced rider. The ride on this bike with its tiny wheels, it just makes it a fun little city bike. It's small, you can get into little crevices, and what I've noticed, at least riding my Papio around, riding my Papio in Atlanta, I've noticed that people just don't seem to care about you as a person and the motorcycle. Like typically, you know, if you did something illegal, people would look at you on a motorcycle and be like, you shouldn't be doing that. The funny thing is, you get on a little mini bike and you suddenly can do wheelies down the road, and then people look at you and just laugh. So I don't know if it's a sizing thing or what, but there's an odd perception that changes when you're on a mini bike as compared to a full-size motorcycle. So you can definitely get away with a lot more, at least in my own personal experience. I'm not telling you guys to go out there and do illegal stuff, but if you did. Another thing that this thing is great at is the low speed stuff. Watch, I can easily get to 0. I was messing around with this bike at Mountain. I got to going so slow. I was able to actually maintain 0 on the freaking dash. But guys, anyway, going back to the city stuff, the bike, it doesn't have a ton of power, and I think that's why it being in the city makes for so fun to have, like, riding the bike around, because you don't have to worry about having the most power, the most acceleration. It has 9.7 horsepower and I believe 7.7 foot-pounds of torque. So you're talking about tiny numbers, but in a city setting where you're in traffic anyway, power doesn't really matter. And I think having power taken out of the equation and you know, you put it in a situation where you can just have fun on the bike. I think that's why I love this thing so much for city riding. Let me make sure I don't skid through this. But yeah, it's got plenty of power for the city, and being so small and nimble, you can just cut through any areas, and I think it really comes into its own when you get it in that sort of environment. Look at that, just cutting through traffic, no biggie. I do love that this, we have the kind of like bright blue here. It makes the bike stand out a little more, which I have noticed on the smaller motorcycles. People don't seem to notice you as much, and I guess that's because you take up a smaller amount of actual space. So that's just something to note and be careful of, because cars already don't notice motorcycles, but when I notice they don't look at me more. It's just something to be careful about. I want you guys to be as safe as possible. Make sure you're watching out for these other cars. But you guys are noticing we're going at a little higher speeds, around 50 miles an hour through these roads. The bike is having no problem keeping up with the traffic. So that's why I was saying during the city is where it comes into its own, because it's got plenty of power for this little area. And also, it is so incredibly light. The bike weighs next to nothing. I think the wet weight on this thing is 227 pounds. And it feels like absolutely nothing underneath you, which is both a pro and a con. You cannot give me a mini bike with no ABS and not expect me to... Sorry, Mountain. I should probably not ruin your rear tire. Okay, no more tire skidding. We're done with that. Now, my fans of first rides, you're going to notice typically here, this is where we do our 40 to 80 pull getting onto the highway. Thanks to our buddies at Law Tigers. We're going to have to... We're not getting on the highway. I did that with a Grom one time. Not a fan. We're going to go up here and do a modified... Let's do a 20 to 50. We're going to do a 20 to 50 test up here when we transition off of this road. And that'll be our low CC equivalent. All right, the last time I did a low CC bike first ride and I took this alternate path, I got lost. I'm pretty sure I know the path this time. I will try not to get lost. All right, guys. Thanks to our buddies over at Law Tigers. Still, I'm going to see how fast I can get a 2023 Grom from 20 miles an hour to 50 miles an hour. All right, guys, here we go. 2023 Honda Grom, 20 to 50. Thanks to our buddies over at Law Tigers. On your mark, get set. Wait, hold on. On your mark. No, that's too low. On your mark, get set, go. Oh no, we got a hill? Oh no, Grom. I'm sorry, I didn't know there was a hill. There it is. Come on, get to it. Oh my God, 50. I thought I was gonna have to run the red, boy. All right, Honda Grom made it a little bit of time. It took a little time. That is one of the notes I can say now is the Grom now has a fifth gear, which is fun. Apparently, if I remember correctly, it only had 4 gears previously. So I do love the addition of a 5th gear. I believe my CF Moto Papio has 6 gears, which is really nuts. But there's other full-sized bikes that only have 5 gears as well, so it makes it a little more normal. Having 4 gears just always made you want more, and it was like, come on, man, I need more than 4. So I do love that they added another gear here, and it seems to help. It seems to make it feel more like a full-size motorcycle, which I'm down for, even though I do totally kind of love the baby bike-ness. Off the line speed, what we got? All the way to red line. One of the things I have noticed is when you're on a mini bike, and I noticed this on my Papio, but the same thing happens for the Grom. When you put yourself in a scenario where you can't take a highway, it almost makes you go down roads you don't typically go down. And by the way, this road is great, especially on this little thing. I love this. Look at these little turns. It's fun to go down roads you don't typically go down. It makes you explore, which as a motorcyclist, that's one of the things that I really love about motorcycles is it makes exploring really fun, and it kind of forces you to do that. I can't take the highway that I would typically take with you guys, and because of that, I have to take these random ass little back roads, and because of that, I find little roads like this. Look at that. Traffic is slowing me down. Who would have thought? All right, I know I got to turn left up here at some point. My average MPG, it says, is 113, and I'm riding like an absolute idiot. So imagine what a normal person could get on a Grom. That's hilarious. 113 miles a gallon. By the way, the gas tank size is 1.6 gallons, so take that for what you will. You probably get, what, 200 miles on one of these? That's a lot of miles on a mini bike. But, okay, there's the shell. I have to take a left at this next light, I think. I'm pretty sure. I'm slightly sure. We're gonna take a left anyway. We're gonna see where it takes us. Oh yeah, I think this is the right road. We'll do our top speed run on this road. We'll see how fast we can get this thing up to in the top of 5th. All right, power test for this air-cooled single. Let's see how she'll go. Or maybe it's not this road yet. Maybe it's the next road. Yeah, this is not it. It's a double lane. All right. Oh, we're gonna need the power now. We're gonna need it. We're gonna need it. All right. Top speed all the way up through the gears. Let's go. Have faith in the green, Chase. Have faith in the green. Oh shit, no faith. Oh my god. Bailing out, people. Bailing out. Can't do the top speed run. I got to 51. Can you imagine? Oh my god, I got the green! I got it! I didn't have any faith. I lost it. I lost all my momentum. Dang it. All right. Retry. Top speed. Let's go. Let me go full tuck. Gotta scoot back. All right, this is it, boys. This is it. It looks like 57, guys. Yep. We're not going anywhere after 57. All right. Now, keep in mind, guys, we are looking at a smaller motorcycle, so your weight is going to make a huge difference. I'm a 230-pound chubby 5'10 guy, so I can get to 57. Your mileage may vary. Keep that in mind. Also, no weight jokes in the comments, okay? I'm working on it. Just give me a break. All right, so as you guys can see, you're not going to get an incredible amount of power out of this bike, and I don't give a shit. It does not matter. That is not what this bike is about at all. If you are worried about power, then you are not buying the right motorcycle. Just that is where that's at. This is a fun motorcycle for every reason other than power. But power is important, so I wanted to show you guys how fast you can get up to. What is fun, though, is leaning this bike into turns. It's got a really soft suspension, so it's not going to give you a ton of feedback. You're not going to be able to do this really precise riding. But that is no reason to not have an incredible time on little curvy roads. This bike weighing literally nothing and having that softer suspension gives it a very unique feel. You're just throwing it into little turns, and it's incredibly enjoyable, especially from somebody that knows how to ride. I gotta tell you guys, having done this before, if you ride with a bunch of dudes and everybody's on mini motos, you unlock a new fun level of motorcycling. I cannot explain it. You got to do it for yourself. But do yourself a favor. Get a couple buddies or find a couple buddies, maybe in the comments, like try to find some people. If you have a Grom, a Z125, a Papio, find some people around, go for a mini moto ride, and have the best day of your life. Trust me, just do it. And this road is actually part of our regular first ride route. So we made it back. All right, guys, so let's talk about the transmission. You are going to be shifting a lot here on the Grom, but I gotta say, I am a big fan of the addition of that extra 5th gear. I feel like it spreads the gears out a little more, and it allows you to ride the bike more comfortably and gives you more space inside of those gears for where you are on the road. I don't know if that makes sense, but I have found it more enjoyable to ride the bike around now, and I find myself in 5th gear on little middle-sized roads like this, so it's a solid move. One of the things about the shifter that I'm not a huge fan of is they have the thing where when you're in first and you try to shift down, it allows you to shift, you just don't click into anything. Not a huge fan of that, but I mean, it is what it is. I'm trying to be understandable about what I'm complaining about on a motorcycle like this. And then the final thing we really need to talk about as far as performance goes are the brakes. Now, it's a small motorcycle. It's a relatively cost-effective motorcycle. But don't be expecting any crazy Brembo stopping power. One of the things I do appreciate is the brakes are not very touchy. The brakes kind of come on a little slow, and then they provide ample stopping power to get the bike stopped. which I kind of like that the brakes are not super hard off the bat, because that's where it's really easy to like lock up and stuff like that. And I don't know, as a new rider, which a lot of people that get the Grom are probably going to be new riders, brakes like that can be a little hard to navigate. So I do appreciate those slightly softer brakes, and also it fits the motorcycle really well. So everything works. Wow, that dude was looking at this bike like, oh, what was that? Alrighty guys, let's talk about the cluster up here for a second. Now, if you didn't know this was a Honda and you saw those buttons and those buttons, you should definitely know it's a Honda then. Honda they always seem to put giant buttons on their motorcycles. This is no different. It's very simple up here too. You know, we don't have a lot of controls to talk about, but we've got your brights, you got your horn, and you got your turn signals down here. I have found that I keep going for the horn, meaning the turn signal, so I don't really love the placement of that. I don't know why, but I'm instinctively going for the horn instead of the turn signal. On the right side, very simple. We've got our kill switch and our starter. Nothing really crazy to talk about. All of the buttons here feel fine. When I press them, I get a good click, so I got no problems there. And levers here, we got non-adjustable levers, which isn't the greatest thing, but you can get adjustable levers if that's something you want. No issues with the levers. I'm getting a good feel in them. I wouldn't complain about them at all. And finally, we have this dash, which does look slightly new from the old Grom. It looks like a new shape. It does kind of match the square-ish vibe of the front of the bike, but I do wish the dash was a little curved more on the outside. As far as info goes, I got no problem with the dash and how the info is laid out. It's a Grom. I'm sitting up so high to look at the dash. I gotta look down pretty far. So if I'm gonna be honest with you guys, I don't really care. This is a motorcycle that it's not to be taken too seriously. You're gonna be having a fun time on it, and I don't think you're really going to be worried that much about the dash. You're going to look down and see how much gas you got every now and then, and other than that, who really cares? Do you think you're going to get a speeding ticket on a Grom? Actually, that would be hilarious. If you guys own a Grom and you've gotten a speeding ticket before, please let me know the situation in the comments. That would be freaking hilarious. But overall, guys, controls-wise, the bike is totally adequate. I've had no problems. The bike matches itself, right? The controls match the bike, and that's what I always look for. I want if it's a really premium bike, I'm paying a lot of money, I want the controls to match. This $3,500 motorcycle, the controls are exactly where I would expect them to be. Alrighty, so guys, we are gonna pull off up here and do a little walk around of the Grom. Now, of course, y'all have been watching all that awesome camera car footage, but you know I like to walk around the bikes. And I also think the Grom's kind of stylistic change for this model is fantastic. I love the way this guy looks. Can't wait to walk around it and pull off up here. I would say the Grom is probably one of, if not the best motorcycles to take to a parking lot and learn how to shift if you've never shifted before, because you have all the regular stuff that you got to learn for riding a regular motorcycle, but it's so small, you're low to the ground, it's lightweight. If you mess up or stall, you can catch it. It's just such a good bike for people that have never ridden before. Thanks, Honda, for turning the bike off. Alrighty, guys. 2023 Honda Grom, headlight being rechanged, the gas tank looks a little different. I love that this area kind of fits my legs perfectly. It makes a small bike work really well for a regular sized person. And let me tell you guys, you can have all the motorcycle fun on this thing. I think it's absolutely fantastic. I love the looks. This blue, I'm a huge fan of. They have a white, red, and blue one that I think looks absolutely sick. That one's probably my favorite. And then this one's probably my second favorite. I just love the looks, man. It looks very fun. It's got these little rivet-looking things here on the side. Here's our little air-cooled single, which does an ample job. This hilarious exhaust. You guys would be shocked if you looked up online the stuff that people can do on these Groms, both stunting them and customizing them. The Grom aftermarket scene is absolutely insane, and I really freaking love it. As you guys can see, the tires on here, as you would expect, totally different size from a regular motorcycle. And that's what gives it that really twitchy characteristic on the road. Oh, check this out. 90-degree little air thing. God, those tires would suck. If you guys don't know, if you're, new. Oh, this is what you normally see. It goes straight up. It is a pain to air up. On the back, we have a 90-degree one. I love that. We need that on the front. Alrighty, guys. So I don't know what else there's really to say about the Grom. It's a tiny little package. There's not a ton about it. You do have a chain drive. You got a little adjustability there on the back, and there's really not a lot to do else. All right, so guys, what I'm going to do is I'm going to grab my phone off the quad lock. If you guys want a discount on a phone mount, by the way, in the description, you guys know where it's at. And I'm going to do some video for our guys over on Instagram and TikTok. If you guys are over there and not followers, you should definitely check us out. We're at C2Pics on Instagram and at Chase on Tools on TikTok. I'll make some videos for them, and I'll be right back. Alrighty, guys, that's it for my Instagram and TikTok people. Now, we got to do a steering stem lock test, and we got to see if it's a purchase or pass. Alright, guys, steering stem lock test. We got some debris in the way, but we'll get past it. Number 1 spot goes to the Grom for the steering stem lock test, or it's a tie with my Papio. Oh, these little bikes are too fun. All right, guys, let's get back on the road. Let's talk about if I will purchase or pass on this, and then we'll go from there. Alrighty, guys, we got some stuff to talk about. Would I purchase or pass on the Honda Grom? Now, I will say before we get into it, I am super here for the updates of the Grom over the previous year model. I think Honda added tons of new stuff. I love the new look. I've never liked the look of Groms more. When it comes to purchase or pass, though, I think I'm going to pass on the Grom only because I own the Papio, and we call him Japapio because he's the GP version of it. Looks like that. Now, granted, the Papio is not available in that colorway, but we got a little custom one from CF Moto. But my CF Moto gives me all the fun of this motorcycle, and it comes in at a cheaper price point. Now, guys, something to keep in mind is while I would choose the Papio, you might choose the Grom if you're a different type of person. The reason I like the Papio like it is because I'm a person that doesn't want to modify a mini moto. I love it just like it is. I have no need to modify it. If you are a person that is looking into a mini moto and you think you might want to really customize it, get a lot of accessories and stuff for it, then you should definitely go with the Grom over the Papio because the Grom's aftermarket scene is absolutely nuts. There's tons of stuff for it. So if you're one of those people, I would definitely go with the Grom over the Papio because they're going to perform almost identically, at least in my opinion. And guys, that's all I've got to say about the Grom. Thank you guys so much for getting to this point in the video. Before we get out of here, I got to give a shout out to my guys over at Mountain Motorsports. If it wasn't for them, I wouldn't be able to do all these first starts for you guys. There's going to be a link into the description called Bike Provided By. They got like 5 locations up here in North Georgia, so tons of inventory, tons of locations. If you're in the area, there's probably one close by you, and they have a huge inventory at all of their locations. So you can go sit on tons of motorcycles and feel them out, feel which one's right for you. But guys, I appreciate you watching this video. If you made it to the end, you're in the outro crew, so after you like the video, make sure to put OC in your comment, and then let me know which mini bike is your favorite that is currently available on the market. I know a lot of you guys are going to pick that brand new Papio that CF Moto put out because it looks sick. Now, speaking of that, here at the end of the video, I'm going to leave my first ride in for my CF Moto Papio for you guys that are curious about other mini motos in the segment. I'm Chase on Two Wheels. You guys go ride safe. I'll see you on the next one. Later.